The fall of the Ottoman Empire, or reassessment through the lens of external imperialism and internal reform. Introduction. The Ottoman Empire, once a sprawling transcontinental power, dissolved in the aftermath of World War I, leaving historians to debate the causes of its collapse. Traditional narratives often emphasize internal decay, economic stagnation, administrative corruption, and nationalist uprisings as primary culprits. However, historian Mostafa Minoi offers a nuanced perspective, arguing that the empire's decline was not inevitable but rather the result of a complex interplay between half-hearted internal reforms and relentless external pressures. This article explores Minowi's thesis, highlighting the critical role of European imperialism, economic dependency, and geopolitical maneuvering in undermining the Ottomans' adaptive strategies. Part 1. The Tanzimod Reforms and the Illusion of Sovereignty. The 19th century witnessed the Ottoman Empire's earnest attempts to modernize through the Tanzimod 1839–1876 and later reforms. These included secular legal codes, educational reforms, and infrastructure projects like railways, aimed at centralizing administration and bolstering military strength. However, Minoi underscores how European powers weaponized these modernization efforts. For instance, European banks financed railways, e.g., the Berlin-Baghdad Railway, embedding economic control into Ottoman territory. Similarly, the 1856 Paris Treaty, which nominally recognized Ottoman sovereignty, required capitulations, extraterritorial rights for Europeans that eroded local governance. Minoi argues that these reforms, while progressive, became tools for foreign exploitation, transforming the empire into a semi-colony. Part 2. Nationalism and the Balkanization of the empire. The rise of nationalism among Ottoman subjects, particularly in the Balkans, is often cited as a key internal factor, yet Minoi reframes this as a consequence of European imperialist policies. Powers like Russia and Austria-Hungary actively supported separatist movements to destabilize the empire. The 1877–1878 Russo-Turkish War exemplified this, leading to the independence of Serbia, Romania, and Bulgaria. The Congress of Berlin 1878 further legitimized these secessions, fragmenting the empire's European territories. Minoi emphasizes that nationalist movements were not organic but fueled by external actors seeking geopolitical advantage, turning the Balkans into a powder keg that prefigured World War I. Part 3. Economic dependency and the debt trap. Financial crises exacerbated the empire's vulnerability. By the 1870s, massive debts to European creditors forced the Ottomans into agreements like the 1881 Ottoman Public Debt Administration (OPDA), which placed key revenues under foreign control. Minoi highlights how this economic subjugation stifled autonomous development. Railways, ports, and customs revenues critical for funding reforms were siphoned off to service debt. The empire's integration into the global economy thus became a double-edged sword, modernizing infrastructure while cementing dependency. Part 4. Military defeats and the geopolitical endgame. Military defeats in the late 19th and early 20th centuries sealed the empire's fate. The Balkan Wars 1991–1913 stripped the Ottomans of most European holdings, while World War I alliances with Germany proved disastrous. Minoi critiques the Young Turks' decision to enter the war, which led to the empire's partition via the Sykes-Picot Agreement 1916 and the Treaty of Savres 1920. However, he also notes that even after these losses, the Ottoman state retained agency. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk's resistance to Allied occupation culminated in the Turkish War of Independence 1919–1923. Thus, the empire's fall was not due to internal collapse but geopolitical betrayal. Part 5. Minoi's revisionist thesis, external imperialism as the prime catalyst. Minoi challenges Eurocentric narratives that frame the Ottoman decline as a story of Eastern backwardness. Instead, he positions the empire as a resilient actor navigating a hostile international system. European imperialism, he argues, systematically dismantled Ottoman sovereignty through economic coercion, diplomatic manipulation, and military intervention. Even the empire's modernization efforts were co-opted to serve foreign interests. By reframing the narrative, Minawi highlights the agency of Ottoman leaders and the structural violence of imperialism, arguing that survival became impossible amid relentless external pressures. Conclusion: the Ottoman Empire's fall was not a tale of inevitable decay but a geopolitical tragedy shaped by external imperialism. Minawi's work urges a reevaluation of history, recognizing the Ottomans' adaptive strategies and the global power dynamics that ultimately overwhelmed them. As modern nations grapple with neocolonialism and sovereignty, the empire's story remains a poignant reminder of the perils of unequal international systems.